Welcome back to The Explainer. Now, if you're an educational leader, a school administrator, or honestly, just someone who's super passionate about how successful institutions actually run behind the scenes, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're exploring a seriously brilliant framework from LAIT Africa. It's designed to take everyday school operations, which, let's be real, can sometimes feel like a chaotic juggling act, and transform them into a thriving, solid architecture. We're going to break down their 12 school systems, and I promise you, you'll never look at an organizational chart the same way again.
Okay, let's dive right into this. For decades, the old way of running a school was basically just a bunch of isolated departments. You know the drill. You had your finance team way over here, your academic team over there, and your facilities team somewhere down in the basement, probably fixing a leaky pipe no one else even knew about. They operated in complete silos. But as we all know, that outdated method is incredibly failure-prone. Well, LAIT Africa's architectural blueprint completely changes the game here. It treats the school like a masterfully engineered building where every single system is fully, completely interconnected.
The entire thesis of this framework is grounded in this one absolutely crucial idea. They are not separate silos. They interact with one another and should be reviewed as an interconnected architecture. Think of it like a physical building. If one load-bearing wall is weak, it literally doesn't matter how beautiful your roof is, right? The whole school shakes. Every single one of the 12 systems we're about to cover relies heavily on the integrity of all the others.
Now, to make this massive blueprint super easy to digest, we've grouped these 12 systems into 5 logical wings: the foundation, the core, the utilities, the front porch, and finally, the engine of improvement. Let's move to and see how this builds, starting right at the structural base of any successful school. Wing 1, the foundation, strategy and leadership.
Let's look at System 1, strategy and planning. Listen, you don't just write up a nice-sounding mission and vision statement and stick it on a break room poster. That doesn't work. You actually have to translate that abstract vision into concrete priorities. Then, those priorities have to become very specific plans and actions, which finally yield measurable progress. It's that disciplined, step-by-step execution that actually turns a dream into a functioning daily reality.
Which brings us to the key leadership question for System 1. Are we translating our vision into disciplined execution? I really want to challenge you to reflect on your own organization right now. Are you guys just talking about where you want to go? Or do you have a systematic engine moving you there every single day?
Next up in our foundation, we have Systems 2 and 3, which are governance and leadership. So System 2 is all about governance and decision-making. Basically, do people actually know who decides what, and how are those decisions monitored? Then, System 3 is leadership and accountability, which ensures every single leader knows their exact roles and deliverables. When you put them together, they ensure leadership isn't just this giant bottleneck at the very top, but rather it's distributed, crystal clear, and highly accountable. All right, with a solid foundation poured, we transition to the day-to-day heartbeat of the building. Wing 2, the core, learning and people. Now, what's really interesting about this is how 3 specific systems interact deep within this core. System 4 protects curriculum delivery so learning isn't just left to individual preference. System 5 manages your talent, and System 6 protects student welfare. You simply cannot have high curriculum quality without great talent, and guess what? Great talent cannot teach effectively if the students are bouncing off the walls or feeling unsafe. They are inextricably linked. Just think about the sheer scope of System 5 for a second. People, talent, and professional growth. We're talking about recruitment, induction, appraisal, training, retention, succession, and staff development. The whole shebang. This isn't just a standard run-of-the-mill HR checklist. It is the continuous energetic development of the educators who literally bring your mission to life every single day.
And this forces us to pause and ask the ultimate leadership question for System 6. Are children safe, known, supported, and well-guided? Protecting child well-being isn't just administrative fluff, It's an absolute prerequisite. If a child doesn't feel safe and known, the most brilliant curriculum in the world simply is not going to reach them.
Building upward, we introduce the third wing, the utilities, resources, and infrastructure.
This wing houses Systems 7, 10, and 11. These are the systems that literally keep the lights on and the data flowing. System 7 is finance and resource sustainability. System 10 covers facilities and safety, making sure the physical space is actually fit for learning. And System 11 is data and tech management. Without serious financial discipline and incredibly secure data systems, a school's future is basically walking on thin ice.
So, the crucial point is really captured by this question. Are our facilities enabling learning and protecting people? Your physical environment cannot just be an afterthought.
A well-designed facility actively and dynamically supports the core work of teaching.
Next up, we shift our focus outwards to the fourth wing, the front porch, community growth.
Here we have System 8, your admissions and marketing. This is the reliable mechanism for attracting prospective families and driving sustainable growth. Meanwhile, System 9 is the parent experience. It manages the relationships, handles feedback, and most importantly, builds trust. A reliable admission system brings families to your front porch for sure, but a strong communication system is what actually invites them inside and makes them want to stay.
The framework asks a really defining question for System 9. Are parents experiencing clarity, responsiveness, and partnership? Remember, your front porch completely determines your reputation. If parents feel ignored, trust erodes instantly. But genuine partnership, that secures the sustainable growth of your entire community.
Finally, we reach the climax of our blueprint, the fifth and final wing, the engine of improvement.
This brings us to System 12, Continuous Improvement and Performance Review. This system essentially acts like a building inspector. It creates review cycles, evaluation routines, and improvement planning across all the other systems. I want to explicitly state that this overarching cycle is your absolute secret weapon. It's really the only way to prevent your hard-earned architecture from crumbling over time as staff changes, tech evolves, and new challenges inevitably pop up.
And this brilliantly illustrates our ultimate leadership question for System 12. Are we learning, improving, and closing gaps systematically? Notice that word systematically. It's not about playing whack-a-mole with random reactive fixes every time a crisis hits. It's about an intentional evolution that constantly evaluates all 11 prior systems to keep them functioning at their absolute best.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on. Which part of your architecture needs immediate attention right now? Is your foundation cracking? Is your front porch feeling uninviting? Or is your engine of improvement completely stalled out? Take this interconnected blueprint back to your team, evaluate your 12 systems honestly, and start building your own operational masterpiece. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.